Hi everyone. We're here today to talk about a very special event that's happening in the city of Pembroke. It's our high school reunion. Our school was originally called Pembroke Collegiate Vocational Institute and then became Pembroke Collegiate Institute. We affectionately refer to it as PCI. I am sure that many people reflect back on their high school days with fond memories and friendships and events that they recall while attending their high school. But what makes our high school unique? It's because our school has been closed since 1970. Now, we had a reunion back in 1984. This was called the Homecoming, and it was very successful. It was well attended by over 2,000 people. Many came from far away at that time, and most of the attendees were still working, so they had to plan ahead to book their holidays and bring their families for this adventure. At our wrap-up meeting following that reunion, we discovered that the local alumni didn't register for this event. People assumed they lived in Pembroke and they see their friends every day, and they just didn't think it was really important to come to a reunion because what was so special about it? But pressure was really put on our committee, and I know a lot of people on our committee are still here today with me. And we were talked into having a second reunion 5 years later in 1989. Now, after all this pressure, and we felt as the host committee to do another reunion was a lot of work, but 5 years, it wasn't that long ago, and we already had the files and the contact lists and everything. There were many reasons why we should go ahead with that second reunion, so they really twisted our arms and talked us into it. Now, this reunion was also a success. Not quite as big a crowd, but very, very successful and very much appreciated by everyone who attended. Now, at our wrap-up meeting following our second reunion, we discovered that many of the out-of-town alumni didn't register for the event because they felt 5 years wasn't really that long a distance. And they were still working with their jobs and still had to plan their vacations, and it just was a lot of effort for them to make that trip just within 5 years. But the bonus on that event was the locals really appreciated the effort, and they wanted to have that reunion really badly, and we're glad we had that reunion. But guess what? Now we have an opportunity to bring those two groups together, the locals and the people coming from afar. And together, we want to really truly make this gathering the best reunion ever. This is happening in September, the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, this year, 2013. Now, if anyone is ever planning a major event, there are lots of complications and lots of things you have to do to get it started and get it launched, and especially with a little budget, and you don't have a lot of money to work with. So our committee have a few questions, and I'd like to just mention them right at this moment so that you too can find out how you can help. Everyone can be involved in this committee. All you have to do is check out our website and register early, and we'll put you to work and do whatever we can to make you feel part of the host committee. How do we plan for such an event? Well, we don't know if we're going to have 200 or 2,000, but we have made flexibility in our scheduling so that we can accommodate the weather conditions and the numbers that are going to be attending. But again, it's hedging on how soon you register. If you're going to wait till the last 2 or 3 weeks, you're putting a lot of work and burden on our committee, and they want to enjoy the reunion as well. So let's get everyone on the ball right now, get registering early so we can deal with those numbers well in advance and make sure we all can celebrate and have a good time. How do you get the word out? Well, we all have friends that we still are communicating with from high school days. We write letters at Christmas time or we email them. So get the word out in your media as well as you can, or by snail mail or whatever way you want. Pick up the phone and call them and just invite them. If you don't ask, they don't know about the event because they're not living in our community. The other question I'm asked is, where and how can I register? We have registrations. I guess you have to also remember, in our era, we didn't have computers. So a lot of our alumni are not really friendly with emails, etc. So we do have to have hard copy registration forms. So we've made arrangements with the City of Pembroke to host us in that regard. So the registration forms can be picked up in the foyer of City Hall, 1 Pembroke Street East, and they're available now. And when you fill out your application and attach your check for the registration, you can drop it back off at City Hall. And you're asking another question, who can attend? Well, if you attended the school, you don't have to have graduated from that school. Just even a short term, if you're only there for a semester or a year or whatever, you were invited to be part of this reunion. And also we have allowances for guests. Sometimes you want to bring 1 or 2 people, and there are a lot of people in this community that had a lot of friends that attended the high school, and I'm sure they'd love to come and celebrate with us and attend most of these events. So this reunion, we're allowing that to happen. You can register individually as an individual and just go under the guest column, and the rest is all explained to you. And what is the cost to attend? We've also decided we had to plan this cost in advance without knowing how many people would be available. So we've decided to stick to the 1980s prices. It's the best bargain in town. Where else can you go for the event that's happening over 4 days for $15 if you were a student or $10 if you're a guest? So the price is right, as they say. And right now, I also would like to introduce my colleagues here at the table. And this is just a few of the people that are on our committee. And on my left, I'd like to introduce you to Joan Gately. I'm using her maiden name because I know her school friends would know her by that. And Joan, can you tell me, what were you involved with in high school?
Well, I played in the high school band, and I was on the volleyball team.
Fantastic. Glad to hear that. And also on my right, I have another maiden name that I'm introducing, Heather Spink. Heather, what did you do at high school?
I was involved in the curling club throughout my high school years.
Well, excellent game. I love curling. And over on my left, I have another colleague of ours, and it's Gary Severin.
Gary Henry Severin.
Yes, Gary Henry.
Thank you. Thanks, Joyce. Yes, I had a great time in high school as well. I was there from in the middle 50s till 1960. During that time, I think one of my favorite pastimes was being a member of the band. Also, my last year in high school, I drove the school bus from Petawawa to Pembroke, and so I thought that was a highlight as well. I have a question, though.
Sure.
Can you tell me if the registration forms are available online, because there are a lot of people who can't get to Pembroke to get a registration?
Excellent question. I'm glad you asked that, Gary. Yes, of course they are, and we are very pleased that we have our information will be issued after the little program is finished here. So check out our website and you can download everything and just pick up a phone and call someone from the school, and I'm sure that you'll get your answers, but they are available online. Thank you for that question. Just a little summary here. As people register, this is another unique thing about our reunion. If you live in the Pembroke area, you register, you were automatically a member of the host committee. And what does that mean, you say? Well, that means because you're a local person, that people should be able to ask you any questions and you can answer them quite freely, or you know how to get a hold of whoever has the right answers and get back to those individuals. So as you're talking to friends and family and people that might be interested in the reunion, take notes of who you were speaking to and follow up, because that is really an important thing that you can do to make sure that this is going to be a success. So welcome to the host committee, and it's a committee that you don't really have regular meetings. If I need to find out anything from you, I'll pick up the phone and call you one-on-one, but it's just to help the committee know that you're not alone and you're not working as an island. And it takes many people to pull this off, and each of you are now officially part of the committee. Congratulations. And your job is the same rate of pay as mine, so record that on your income tax. Contact all your school friends, encourage them to register early, and if you want to join in the fun, Just pick up the phone or go to City Hall, get your applications registered now, and come home to the Valley.
Pearl, cerise, and indigo are the colors we all know. Are we ready? Well, I guess. Pembroke Collegiate, yes, yes, yes. Yay!